Balan Banouch gigs in the seaside village of Dragon's Breath at the weekends, after working hard all through the week. Some of his nights are good and some of his nights are bad, but every one of them they are unique. Some nights for Balan are very tough, and there are horror stories that he could tell. When Balan is singing, some people get drunk, and Balan often lets rip from his rear ends a nasty smell. In pubs in Dragon's Breath, Balan Banouch sings his heart out and plays 2 sets of 45. But there are nights when Balan watches the clock, hoping he will get out alive. When Balan Banouch sang at the Dragon's Breath Club for working men, he was on from 8 until 9:45. They threw custard pies and trifle at Balan, and they talked over every song that he penned. But they were deathly quiet for bingo, and the meat raffle was drawn and Deirdre wins. But when she came up to collect her prize, in a drunken state she falls over on her pins. She then staggered to her feet to collect her prize of waffle and a pound of mince. But Balan kept on singing his Dragon Breath songs and other favourites, including Purple Rain by Prince. Each nauseating second that Balan Banouch sang in Dragon's Breath was more painful than the first. But once Balan was done, they shouted for more, to get their money's worth and to quench their thirst. Balan Banouch played a nightmare gig at Dragon's Breath Pierhead in an outside tent, where the football was showing on Sky Sports as you did arrive. It was showing on a massive screen on the stage behind, on the place where Balan was to be singing live. Knuckle-dragging blokes were watching the game, and they shouted to Balan, "Get out of the way, you prat," as Balan was singing on stage and trying hard not to block their view. As the bars ran out of beer, and to make matters worse, Dragon's Breath football team were losing too. Balan Banouch wondered why they had booked him, but Balan saw the end of the match was in sight, until a last-minute equaliser took it to extra time, and a fan punched Balan on the nose and then started a big fight. Balan Banouch sang at a wedding at the Hot Breath Hotel in Dragon's Breath, but at the event there occurred a family feud. A punch-up broke out between the parents of the bride and groom, and Balan was only a background noise while he was singing in the nude. Then 2 bridesmaids started fighting, and the proceedings started to escalate, and one of the bridesmaids took a punch on the nose, and her red nose did not look so great. To calm things down, Balan started to sing an Adele song, and then the bride began to cry, and she said, "Adele is a singer whose songs that I hate." Balan Banouch said he had agreed to sing at the wedding because the groom was his best friend, and Balan said it took a lot to make his friend the groom see red. But the groom became very angry with the bridesmaid who were fighting, and he rushed over to them and crashed a chair over their heads. When Balan Banouch can't get a gig in Dragon's Breath, he goes out basking and dreams of being on Britain's Got Talent in front of Simon Cowell. But last time Balan went out busking, 4 ladies pressed their red buttons, and all the dogs in Dragon's Breath started to howl. David Williams passed him by and said, was this singing a comedy turn? But Balan said it was not and gave him a smack. Amanda Holden came up to him and gave him a big hug. Then 4 geese passed by and gave him a quack, quack, quack. On the streets of Dragon's Breath, you can often find Balan Banouch out singing, and he is a very well-known sight. But the parents rush their children home when they see him, because they are frightened their children will have a nightmares of fright. When Balan Banouch has been out singing to earn himself an honest bob, for a knackered old singer like Balan, it is a dead exhausting job. Now it is quite clear with Balan, and it is plain to see, he is not Tom Jones and never ever will be. Because they throw pints, not pants at Balan, when he is playing tough gigs, even when he does it for free. In pubs in Dragon's Breath, Balan Banouch sings his heart out, and he plays 2 sets of 45. But there are nights when Balan watches the clock, hoping he will get out alive. Yes, there are nights when Balan watches the clock, hoping he will get out alive.